Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. Julian Erosa versus Fernando Padilla. Fernando Padilla is 26 years old, making his debut here. He's been off for 2 years since he won his Fury FC, I think, championship against Cameron Graves with a beautiful fucking knockout. He got him out of there with a beautiful elbow. And he had a lot of great clinch work to get that sequence going. He landed a beautiful knee, then a few more beautiful knees after he crowded him against the cage. Uppercuts from the collar tie, and then finished it off with an elbow. Very good fighter. A very dangerous fighter, Fernando Padilla. And he's twice as dangerous on the ground, specifically on his back. This guy, I think he's a 10th planet guy. Very slick guard, rubber guard. He's got 5 triangles, I believe, of his 8 submission victories, which, let me get into that. He's got 14 wins, 4 losses. The 14 wins come 4 by TKO, 8 by submission, 2 by decision. And the 4 losses all come by decision. And they're to solid fighters. Dan Ige, Spike Carlisle, this guy Talison Soares, and this solid guy who I think retired, Kurt Kinzer. Regardless, Fernando Padilla is a durable guy, and he's very skilled. Skilled everywhere. He's a long, tall fighter, one of the few guys that's got Erosa beat. You know, I think their height is even, but he's got 1.5 inches of reach on Erosa. And he, much like Erosa, won't really make the most of it. These guys don't know what reach is. Julian Erosa, he's the same way as Fernando Padilla, wants to crowd you, get on the inside. And the thing is, Julian Erosa fights like that, but he's got twice the pressure, in my opinion, and half the durability. Now, Julian Erosa has a weak chin. It sucks. I wish it was stronger, but because he is one of my favorite fighters still. But I know it's weak. I knew it before that Caceres fight. Not that, you know, that was like totally because of a weak chin that he got knocked out. Caceres, despite having 0 knockout victories in his however many dozens of fights he had before that, he landed a perfect kick. That was picture perfect. But still, Julian Erosa, he's been knocked out 6 times in his 10 losses, plenty of times in the UFC, and these are all to dangerous guys over the last few years. Julio Arce, Devontae Smith, Seungwoo Choi, Alex Caceres. You know, Caceres may not be the most dangerous again, but he's very skilled. And Erosa, the thing is, if he doesn't get knocked out, he's an excellent fighter. Julian Erosa. He's a fucking workhorse. He's really, really versatile. 11 TKO victories, 12 submission victories, and just 5 decisions. So his wins, or his finishes, I should say, are split very evenly, and a good amount of those come in the last few rounds. You know, this guy's had beautiful 3rd round subs, Darce chokes on Sean Woodson and Charles Jourdain in the last few years, 2 of my favorite victories, and he's put on some excellent fights, you know, even when he doesn't get the finish, like that war he had with Steven Peterson. And sometimes everything goes in his favor, and he's the one cracking chins, like when he went through Nate Landwehr with a flying knee. So Julian Erosa, he's going to bring it. There's always a chance for a bonus, either a performance bonus or a fight of the night. And I think in this fight, how I see it breaking down, Erosa's never been submitted. I think Padilla's got really good submission skills where he could probably submit a lot of good guys at the UFC level. But I think Erosa, having never been submitted, and I expect to have a little bit of a physicality advantage despite being 1.5 inches or giving up a little bit of reach. Erosa, I think, will be able to keep himself safe from the submission threat. And I actually think Fernando Padilla, if he finds himself in round 3 or deep into round 2, he could be in trouble because Erosa is a very good submission threat. I think pretty much how I see this fight going is Erosa winning in one way or another, either round 2 or 3 or by decision, or Fernando Padilla winning by knockout. Padilla, I suppose, could win by submission or even decision if he has big moments. But generally, if nobody gets knocked down, I think Erosa wins the hustle. I think he out-hustles Padilla, and certainly, you know, the volume and pressure will be there from Erosa. So I really like him to win a decision. And as far as getting finished, Padilla's never been finished, and he's been in there with some good guys. So it shouldn't happen on paper, but Julian Erosa brings that next level kind of pressure where if you find yourself in a cage with him in round 3, it's got to be scary as shit. So I'm playing Julian Erosa minus 135. I played him winning by round 3 finish at plus 1400 because the odds are really juicy compared to round 2. And Padilla. Padilla by KO, if they give it flat, it's probably around plus 200. I do think that's his path to victory against Julian Erosa, even though he's twice as deadly with his submission skills, and he's certainly capable of winning a decision. It's just he's not as likely. He's 2-4 in decisions. Erosa's 5-4. Not pretty, but when you consider all of his third-round finishes and whatever, Erosa, he's a guy that should be winning decisions. So I'm taking Erosa minus 135, and again, the sprinkle on the third round. Like, share, subscribe, all that horseshit. Check out my other videos.